multifaceted concept that involves the ability of a company to successfully enter the export market, sustainably compete in the market, and significantly grow its market share until it becomes established in the market. Successfully enter. Some people do shipment once, they are not able to do another one. The reason is because they were not export ready, they were able to do a shipment. Successfully enter. Sustainably compete, that means you are able to continue in spite of issues. But it's not just enough to continue, you are also gaining some market share in that market. Inability to do this is a sign of lack of export readiness. So for example, delay is a sign of lack of export readiness. Delay in getting buyer, delay in getting product, delay in shipment. Anytime you have delay, regularly, not delay like COVID though. COVID happened. I shipped during COVID because I'm export ready. Those that are not export will not be able to ship during COVID. So for example, there is a delay in the Papa. You can see ship even there is delay in the Papa now. There are other ways of shipping out. You can use waterways, you can use barge. So that carry the goods to mine 2 instead of a Papa. So put it on the barge will move it on water. Or take it to Korodu, move it on water. You know, yes now. So delay in getting buyer, delay in getting product, delay. Delay is a sign of lack of export. If it's constant, not something that happened because of COVID, like I said, is something. Demurrage is the fee paid for the usage of container beyond the free period while the container is in the custody of the shipping line. So whenever you pay demurrage, that means you have issue with documentation, you have one delay or the other, and you have to pay extra because you kept the goods too long at the terminal. Discrepancies in document, that means your documents are not complete, your documents are incomplete, the information of document is in discrepancy and they all cause delay. Defective goods, you ship goods, you get to the destination, they say the quality is bad. Particularly, this is very common for agro commodities. You know, some people export cashew and the cashew will be growing in the container before you get the destination. It's not a laughing thing. People lose money on this matter. People lose money on this matter. But no, that's my problem. How can someone spend 10, 20, 30, 40 million to do a business and they can't spend a fraction of that to learn? Sometimes it looks like common sense is not common. How on earth will you be spending 30 million to be doing a business that you have not spent 500,000 to learn? It doesn't make sense. But that's what you see. Because when people think effort is like, is it not just to carry the goods, go and buy it, they pack it in the container and just do the shipment? Okay, like you're selling to a family. Defective good, death. By death I mean death of knowledge, ignorance. Death, losses, and dropout. A lot of people are. In fact, the reason why exporter number is not growing is that we have people dropping out. NEPC confirmed they have had over 15,000 registered businesses for export, but there are less than 10% exporting. 1,500. Export readiness. Export readiness. Export readiness. Some of them did once, they didn't do it again. Some of them got the certificate. You know, getting certificate is very easy, and government made it easy to encourage export. To get extra, if anybody tell you want to charge you to get export license, don't listen. You don't need anybody to help you get export license. You don't need anybody. It's 13.5. All you need is to have your CAC document. In 2 days, you will get it. You fill online, upload the documents, pay with your card. 2 days, you get it. You don't need anybody.
Even before 2 days, sir.
In less than 2 days, you can get it.
That's very day.
The only reason you can have delay is if your document does not have export as the objective. One, or the scanned document you put are not legible, so they can't read it. Those are the two major reasons for rejection. As your memorandum on authorization of your CAC. You don't have import, you know, in Nigeria, you have import export general merchandise. That's a regular tool of most. Import export general merchandise. If you don't have export, they will reject it. That means you have not been registered to be an export.
Okay, so
they can't give you that.
General merchandise will work.
The word export is what they are looking for. Word export, exporting, exporter, export. That's what they are looking for. If it's not there, they will reject it. Those are the reasons for rejection. The document is not legible or there is no export. So you don't need anybody. So some people claim to be exporters because they have export certificate that anybody can get. That you have an export certificate does not make you an exporter. But you have been registered to be an exporter in Nigeria. So So NFTC said they have 15,000 people that have come and registered, but only 1,000 plus, less than 1,500 are exporting. And the reason is lack of export readiness. So I've defined export readiness for you. Let's look at the dimension of export readiness. There are 15 areas of export readiness. You know, when I was doing my PhD, this was the result of my PhD. I did a PhD to solve that problem. That was my PhD work. To solve the problem of export readiness in India. That was my PhD work. And I discovered a number of the criteria available are not comprehensive enough. So they are basically built on what was already existing. And these are the 15 areas I came up with. Number one, the promoter must be export ready. So you have company category of factors for export readiness, capacity category of factors for export readiness, country category of factors for export readiness, and company category of factors for export readiness. Number one, promoter must be export ready. Who is the promoter? The owner of the business. If the owner of the business is not export ready, you cannot succeed. You would have heard this quote that said, everything rises and falls on leadership. If the leader driving the business is not export ready, the business cannot be successful. The promoter must be export ready. The product must be export ready. The pricing must be export ready. The predisposition of the staff must be export ready. The purpose for going global must be export ready. And I will explain that later. In terms of capacity to promote is a sign of readiness. Proficiency in managing the business is a sign of export readiness. Production capacity is a sign of export readiness. Payment, getting paid and raising money to pay your supplier, export readiness. Positioning, that's the goodwill, the heritage of the business, export readiness. People, that's the consumers, understanding the consumer, understanding the documentation is a sign of export readiness. Potential, the potential of the product is a sign of export readiness. And then purchasers, understand the purchasers, how to reach the purchasers, and then partners, having a partner at destination. Ladies and gentlemen, you can export and you can enter an export market using any of these three options. And those are your partners. Three options. In entering export market, you can do what I would call overseas sales representative. Or you can do overseas subsidiary company or overseas sales branch. That's export market entry strategy. Overseas sales representative, overseas subsidiary company, overseas sales branch. Now, when I was doing my MSc, I did a research on Dangote for this export market entry strategy in Africa. I discovered that Dangote used, at that time, Dangote had 10 locations in Africa, 10. He only had overseas subsidiary in South Africa. He had to buy sales branch in the remaining 9. Overseas subsidiary company means overseas sales rep. That means I get a friend or relative or any professional that can be my rep. That means you will get commission on the transaction and destination. But overseas subsidiary, I'm partnering with a business abroad. Did you get that? I'm partnering with a business abroad. That means I have a stake in the business, maybe 20%, 30%. So it's a partner, like a joint venture in that export market. That means I have control over what they do. In overseas representative, I don't have control. The guy can choose not to even take my call if he doesn't have my time. He can do with different people. But when I have a stake, whatever that business is doing, I'm part of it. But that's what they prefer this one, can afford it. Overseas sales branch, that means I send a staff abroad to set up a branch. And the job of that staff is to look for buyer, to drive market in that place. That's what I'm going to do. Overseas subsidiary company. Overseas sales branch. So, but as an SME, you can start with this, but ensure you have your eye on this or this eventually. Eye on this or this eventually. But if you have a friend or relative that is business inclined abroad, you can have this immediately. That means you set up a branch abroad, a business abroad, you have a stake in it, and your friend or relative have a stake, and you have both partners in that business. So he doesn't see like he's helping you, he's helping himself. So you can set up this easily abroad, particularly in the US. You can set up and you are a director in the business. And although you have to also provide, because this kind of business now we have to set up structure, office and land. So you incur some cost. So this costs more than this. This one you only pay for the service render. This one you need to incur some cost for fixed assets, even salary payment. That's why people prefer to start with us. Now, so we're talking about partner. Yeah, what? Which one? Export market entry strategy. Export market entry strategy. Export market entry strategy. Okay. So let's break it down. The promoter is the owner. Product, the item you are exporting. Pricing, the good, is the cost of the goods that determine the pricing. Predisposition, this is staff exposure. So your staff can mess you up. Your staff needs foreign exposure. So if you hire people that will work with you, it can even be your supplier. Anybody you're hiring that work with you must have foreign exposure. That means they can't say, we go manage them like that. Now so we sell them for Nigeria. You know we do that one. No, I'm serious. You don't manage the way we manage here and people will see buy. They need to have say that this is for export. So you can't manage anything. You must do it right. So that the buyer will not reject the goods. Reason for going abroad. Purpose. Please, if you want to go into export, don't use the money for your student school fees for export. Or money for rent. I'm not joking. Because export requires patient fund when you are just starting. Because it takes a while for you to now be able to do the cycle you are looking for. It takes a while, and you might have to invest some money in your business development. Capacity, payment, funding and getting paid. Production, meeting market demand. Proficiency has to do with skill and competence. Promotion has to do with increasing awareness. Positioning has to do with goodwill and heritage of the business. Potential market opportunities. Paperwork, documentation. People, consumers. Purchasers, agents and distributors. Partners, service provider in the export market. So now let's move on now to look at some of this information, some things that each of them represent. This is very important because we're discussing export readiness, and I told you that the biggest challenge of export in Nigeria is what? Export readiness. Do you know some countries, like Michigan State in America, have a program to get businesses in Michigan export ready? As in there's a checklist, there's a process you go through that because they are so keen on export, the state government now supporting businesses to be exported. That's how serious they are. That's how serious they are about getting ready. Because if you are not ready, imagine UK population is now 70 million. Exporter in the UK is about 150,000 businesses. Nigeria is a population of over 200 million people. We don't even know our population. Maybe we are 2 already. Because we need to do census. Nigeria is 1,500. And you want to grow export. Let me tell you the challenge we have in Nigeria for export right now. The major exporters have reached their peak. So the big exporters, because they are not doing new investment. So if they do $5 million in a year, that's the highest they will do. Because that's their capacity. So if we don't get new business in to increase the volume, we can't rely on those people to increase the volume because some of them are not even employed to increase their volume because of the challenging business environment. So we need more exporters in Nigeria. That's why I have big issue when government decide to talk about export. They focus more on the big guys. I understand, but I think we need both. And in my opinion, we need the smaller one here more. Yeah, no, we need the smaller one. Yes. You know, it's painful the way we run our economy. Do you know that there was time France? Some countries will distribute money to entrepreneurs to do business. They know some of them will fail, but they know some of them will succeed. And that's where they will reap the reward from because they will charge them and collect tax. So in Nigeria, people are stealing billions. Someone will steal 80 billion. One man, 80 billion. And we are used to it. We are so used to it. When we hear it, we just see it as normal. But what you don't know is that some business in Nigeria will blow up if they have just 1 million naira. 1 million. 1 million. 1 million. They will blow up. And they need support. So it's just unfortunate, sincerely. Sometimes you say some people give them the money. Some of this country, they don't care. They know some of them will fail. They are not caring. They know the one that will succeed, they will regain the money back through taxes over the years. So they want to create a lot of entrepreneurs. Give them the money, give them the money, give them the money. Some will go and use marry second wife, give them. They can't come back again. They will have give them. They will give them again. No, I'm serious. They won't give them again. They will give only people that are serious. The people that say they give them more money, give them more money, give them more money. Grant or no, grant. Is it not the money of the people?
And
I will be doing like to give. We want to give loan. You will tell them to go and bring their father's certificate. I'm talking about government agencies. The way they ask you things like commercial bank. So sometimes you now ask yourself, if we really want to grow the economy, but I'm not surprised anyway. You know, politicians most of the time they really don't want to grow the economy. They're not interested. Because they grow the economy, they will empower the citizens. If you empower the citizens, you can't buy their vote again.
Yes.
You can't buy their vote. Don't be surprised. So you think they don't see what's happening abroad? They see. They will not do human capacity development. Hospitals will not work. Schools will not work. But they will do road and bridge. They will do road and bridge. But they will not develop human being. Because if your brain is working, you will not need them. I'm serious. You will not need them now. It's deliberate effort. If you don't know, don't think they don't know what they are doing. You see, some of them are very smart. They know what they are doing. They are not just they go to these places. They don't. It's a lie. They deliberately impoverish the people so you can control them. 5,000 they buy the vote. Because if you are sophisticated, you will be too expensive to buy for vote. You will charge them 1 million. You know what?
But they are not smartness.
No, I'm only no. God do me not smartness. For them, no, it's wickedness actually. It's wickedness. But it's for you to know that they are not interested. I'm just talking about how countries, you study countries to see what they are doing. You'll be wondering. So when you are wondering what is wrong, you should know what is wrong. If you progress, you will not give them your vote. You will not. They can't buy your vote. They can't give you 5,000 and sell your vote. Now, so now, what do you mean? There's a presidential spokesman that says you can
Each 1,000.
say 1,500. Nigeria. You think you can buy Bolly and don't pay it. Let me tell you the challenge of Nigeria. When you are in that place, it's better you don't take that position. If you take it, no. You cannot be with the government and be against the government. It doesn't make sense. So if you want to be in the, if you want to keep chopping, that's why I'm surprised. It's actually my friend. I know you. That's why I said that when I made that statement, you can't be there and be against them. I know that the only reason we say that is because it's there.
That is not poor.
No, it's not poor. I know it very well.
See, the point is this: it's not poor. Maybe you pay back it's money. This topic have been saying things for long. That's not the first time. You understand? See, I have with people. I remember when we are small, when the local government is still okay. Most of the local government chairman are the people that come from abroad. When I was young, you understand that we think they are okay. Then when they came, we have seen that in fact There are no one. You understand? All of them end up with embezzle money. So don't ever make people.
Okay, because of the fact that they are only here. No, so I think the reason you made that statement.
I know.
No. The reason you made that statement. You didn't get my point. The reason you made that statement feels that if you are comfortable, you should not. You should not be
because that's what I would say. For me, the government does not make talk to be saying what. Exactly. Many people are there that they don't talk. But he talks too much and talk.
No, he has to talk because of the position of your party now. Special advisor. On the economy now.
Okay, on the economy.
Yes.
If he's a political spokeswoman, all those ones, I can say can talk.
He's
not okay. What about minister for trade and investment is not talk?
No, she talks so. Only that she won't talk about this.
Who talk about that fire?
But is on economy. So he cannot escape this kind of question.
But
Minister of Trade can escape this. He can escape this.
His response is always
let's yes, rationality. One out, please. I'm sure he will not. A lot of people came after him this last.
No, I don't even read the message.
He does not talk. He does not talk about masses. He speaks for his people.
One out. Because this, yes, and these are expensive.
I go to any place. I know where you are.
One out, let's move on. Nigeria Madam, let's move on. Let's move on, please. Nigeria Madam, oh yeah. Now, in terms of product, you need to know quality certification. Okay. You need characteristics, suitable packaging, sophistication involved. Those are the things that is reviewed or evaluated on that product. Promotion, experience of the exporter or understand the process, ready to commit resources, and export skill, ready to commit resources. Ready to commit resources. Even if you are doing mini exports, it just costs you money. Ready to commit resources. Commit resources now, not just for the export, for the business development.
Yes.
The truth is this: if you are going into exports full time, you will need at least $1 million. If you are doing mini export, at least $1 million. And the reason is this: the business development will take some money from you. Your website will take some money from you. If you are going to even do your first night, you are doing 500K kind of shipment, it will still take some money from you. So it's important to ensure that at the end of the day, if you are going to start at the level of mini export, because the cost of freighting today is high. If you are shipping by air, if you are shipping by sea, only by air is just exorbitant because of dollar exchange. But people still do it because people that do vegetable cannot do by sea. So people that must eat fresh vegetable are ready to pay.
Yes.
They are ready to pay. And for them, they are not really ready to pay because they are paying in foreign currency. So it's not expensive as it were. You don't understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's to what that is expensive because the person buying is still buying at the same price.
Yes. Yes.
But you are spending more money.
Yes.
Because of anything. Now, pricing, raw material, local raw materials is an advantage. Economy of scale give you better pricing, freight cost, and low raw material cost. Positions, the staff, the knowledge they have about export. If the person has lived or school abroad or speak a foreign language, that gives a lot of advantages. In understanding, I'm talking about foreign orientation as a staff of the company or whoever it is you're working with. Purpose, the reason for going abroad, desire to go global, desire to enjoy government incentive, survival strategy of foreign exchange. These are the things that we evaluated, understanding this. Then capacity, payment, ability to get funding. Now, please, when you are talking about funding, you don't need to get funding from bank. Bank should be the next one when you want to scale. If you are starting a business, there are different levels of money. And it's important you know this as an entrepreneur. Can we look up, please? As an entrepreneur, there are different levels of money. And if you don't know there are different levels of money and you're only looking for cash, you will find it difficult to get cash. The highest level of money is credibility. Very correct. The next level of money is character. The next level of money is companion, relationship. Then you have competence before you have cash. In my opinion, this intangible money is what helps you attract this. So when you are trying to raise money to do a transaction, okay, I thought we do what's it? We do cash, competence. I thought we have a program, a class, and we have students that are in that class, and we work with them to export together. When we are raising money from them, we don't sign any document with them, and they will give tens of millions. Why would they do that? Credibility now. Let me tell you, in this country, people are looking for business they want to invest in. Their fear is people will steal their money. Their fear is that people will stop picking their call. So I'm trying to say that if you find it difficult to raise money as a business person, something is wrong with your credibility, something is wrong with your character, something is wrong with your companion relationship, not your capital. In fact, this is so big that if you have good relationship, you can raise money. You just need to demonstrate to the people. The people trust you because you have character. You have relationship and you demonstrate to them through competence, they will make money in this process. They will fund it. They will fund it. If you are finding it difficult to raise money to do business, for you to do business together, or to raise equity, that means you want to start a business, you say, look, come and join me, let's do it together. I'll bring in the competence and some cash, bring in the cash. I'm saying that you don't need a bank at the beginning, because bank will not give you money as a starter most of the time.
Yes.
They want you to show that you are, so want you to prove your credibility. The place you can raise money when you are starting is for individuals, friends. If you don't have friends you can call and to raise money, then you are not building. How have you been living? No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. You must be intentional and how you live to build relationship. You need building relationship so that when you need to raise money, you should be able to raise money. People in your church or mosque, people, your colleague or classmate in school, I mean, you should be able to raise money. If you are not able to raise money, I'm telling you there's something wrong with any of this, and you need to do something about it.
What if they are at the same level?
That means, and I agree with you, that means you are now. There's something I would recommend. 1 hour. You must be deliberate about building relations with people that have gone ahead of you. You shouldn't be, you can have people at the same level, but you should have people, yes. Because that's the only way you can be challenged or also want to do better. But when you are at the same level, you will feel, I'm even better, I become a neighbor. Is that what? You can only match up what?
As in the
Please let me hear what you're saying, please. What? You need to share with me what you're saying, but let me hear it first. Go ahead. Is that what?
I said people above you will see you as a liability.
No. You are a liability if you're asking for handouts. When you are asking for business, when you make money, you're not a liability again. You are not making. They will say, and I agree with you that you see a liability when you ask for handouts. But you're saying you see a business idea and you can be trusted. Sincerely, they can take a risk. They can take a risk. Trust is trust. If someone that can give you money doesn't give you money, it's because he doesn't trust. Forget the excuse. Forget the excuse. The excuse
because of past experience.
Is that what?
Because of past experience
With other people. Hold on. Let me tell you how you can do it. So bypass that. One of the things you can do is let them give you amount that they, sometimes people have different risk appetite. So if this thing will be, if you need 1 million, don't raise it from one person.
Yes.
Try to talk to 2-3 people, it's easier. So 200 is easier. Even if they lose it, they can afford to lose it. So that way, if they see the 200 and they see results, if you ask for 500, they will give because they see the result of 200. So when you try to raise everything for one person, it's not a good way. Not because they don't want to, but what if it goes bad? It's high risk. But so you talk to 2-3 people that can trust you with small amount, then you have a reasonable volume. If you do it successfully, then if you ask for more, they will give you. Because now you have built trust. So that will take you out of the basket of people they don't trust for that transaction. Now I'm saying all this to say that forget it. There's money in Nigeria. Forget what everybody's telling you. I'm talking about credible people doing credible business. Now I'm not talking about politicians. People living in Nigeria. I have friends who have left Nigeria, but their business is in Nigeria. They are making money in Naira, they are spending dollar. But they are making enough to fund their dollar lifestyle over there. Why? Because they have business thriving in Nigeria. The kind of money they are making in Nigeria, they can't make it abroad. So even though they want their children abroad, they have to do business in Nigeria because they know what is in this country. But for the issue we are having, that's why some of them left. Ordinarily, they won't leave. So I'm saying that to say that raising money, you can raise money. You just need to know. But this knowledge is important so that when you are presenting to the person, you sound like someone that knows what they're saying. It's not that they're asking you about this, you can't answer. Asking about this, you can't answer. Asking about this, you can't answer. What are you saying? You are preventing, you are telling them that I want my money to enter for experience. Getting paid and raising money. Production capacity. Let me say something about production. If you want to, if you are going to export and to be export ready, you cannot dispense on one source. You cannot depend on one source of life. If you depend on only one source, you are at a risk. If the volume go up and you are not able to meet up, disappointment. And some buyers are more worried about disappointment than even, in fact, the disappointment is saying that, if you are selling raw material and you fail, you have scattered someone else's supply chain management. Yes. You have scattered it. Yes. And some companies, if they give you LP and you fail, you will pay a penalty. Yes. Abroad, you pay a penalty. Yes. So that liability of not being able to supply, some people take up liability insurance for this sake. Am I making sense? Yes. So I'm trying to tell you, not being able to ship is as bad as shipping rubbish. Because both of them are on the same scale and don't have product. Simple. That is it. It's as bad as shipping rubbish. So capacity, now proficiency, promotion, being able to get proficiency, skills and management, understanding, identifying how to manage risk. There are two major risks in export business. Two major risks: performance risk and payment risk. Payment risk is the risk of not getting paid. Performance risk is the risk that you are not able to ship, or you ship late, or you ship rubbish. Payment risk is that the person is not paid for whatever reason. You must be able to mitigate this risk. The reason I say you have rep is because of payment risk. So that if you don't get letter of credit, you have a rep that can recover money at destination and I can find buyer. Performance risk. All we'll be discussing here is on performance. Knowing exactly how to go about the business. Documentation, sourcing for the goods, all of them revolve around performance risk. You should be able to demonstrate to an investor what can go wrong and what you are putting in place to ensure you secure them. And one of them is insurance. So whenever I'm exporting, either my buyer do insurance or not, I will do insurance. Why? I've claimed insurance on car twice. So that's it twice, 4 times. And I know they pay. But when I'm doing insurance, I don't go to insurance company. I go through a broker who will read the agreement and remove all the clauses that they will use as excuse for not paying. So I don't go to I go through a broker, he's one that will agree and check the agreement, he's a specialist in insurance. And I pay. And it's not that they charge more because they are creating business for the insurance. Insurance, okay, so I use a broker. Either I'm shipping abroad or I'm doing insurance locally because it secures me. So if you are talking to investor and you're still talking about what you are putting in place, they know, so it's not like you're careless. So it's easier to trust you because you're showing competence in being able to manage business. Those are the communication you need to present to investors. So proficiency, promotion, creating awareness to get buyer, positioning. Now, one of the reasons why an investor wants to deal with you is because you also have been doing it. So, for example, maybe you have been trading it locally, or you have a good source of supply that will supply you. So that you are taking away a lot of risk on them. So, goodwill and heritage of whoever it is you are dealing with now supply. Market opportunity, the potential, you must know the potential demand in the export market. Documentation. International trade is likely a business of documentation. International trade is likely a business of documentation. International trade is likely a business of documentation and logistics. Of documentation and logistics. International trade is likely a business of documentation and logistics. International trade is likely a business of documentation and logistics. You know why I'm emphasizing that statement? You must understand documents. You must know the document. Some of the documents I gave you, you can Google them so you can get to see how they look online. You should know the document. Document can be a reason why paper will not be made. Paperwork, and then the people, you must know your consumer. Know your consumer. Madam, how do you know they want it in this container? So it's important. No, I'm not saying you don't know. I'm just saying that. So you need to be able to know how they want it. Exactly. Fantastic. Just check your competitor. There's a reason they package the way they package it, and you can see them online. And the way they label it, you can see them online, and you can get to know about that. Then purchaser and partnership. I've talked about this. Purchaser. So all this is being evaluated under exploration. Purchasers, agents and distributors abroad. Agent and distributor. Know right entry strategy. Understand the distribution options and access to wholesalers. Handle distribution and how to handle distribution challenge. You should be able to understand the way the product is distributed. So is it that it comes in and the importer give a distributor, the distributor give a wholesaler give retailer, or retailer give consumer? You need to be able to know in that country. Some country the importer straight to retailers. For some products, straight to retailers. Some, a distributor will sell to retailer. Some, the wholesaler sell to retailer. It's important you understand the situation and know where you are coming in. Most of the time, you are going to come in at the upper end where you are selling to an importer. So, for example, when you are trying to export, you are looking for importer of your product in that country who currently import from other countries around the world. The issue now is your price good enough and quality good enough for you to consider you? If you are credible, price is good, quality is good, it will likely give you a chance. And with a trial, it becomes a lot easier to give you that business or a share of the business eventually. Partners and destination. You need a rep. What is the rep helping to do? Marketing. Recovery. In case of default, recovery. Logistics and warehousing. I know a lady who export Gary. By the way, I export Gary. I sell the Gary. I bought Gary. I sell the Gary. Gary, did you have Gary? Is not funny. You have Gary. The man is good. That's why I say Japa is a blessing. Not American and Euro. Gary. Now, this lady sells Gary. Is from Efru in Delta State. He sells Gary to UK. You know what she does? She will ship a container, about 3-4 containers to Tilbury, and she will fly down a week before arrival.
Container, metric ton.
Yes. She will fly down before arrival, and you will get an agent that will clear into a warehouse, and then reach out to our buyers. Within 2-3 weeks, finish selling, fly back to Nigeria. Chicken, that's when she does her business. And she sells Gary. She sells Gary. If the Gary is good and the quality is good and the pricing is good, you get buyers. You get people drink Gary like human business. I bought Gary now, so I can tell you who drink Gary. Drink Gary too. You ever forget about smoke? I don't know. I also, and by the way, I export brew, by the way. Local brew. Yes. Local brew. you my Instagram, TikTok. Go and check and you see the pictures. Blue, local one, not local. I don't know what they're doing with it though.
What quantity? What quantity are you doing?
No, most of the time, maybe a fraction of the container. Most of the time, the fraction of the container. It's what?
It's big though.
Yeah, no, it's much. It's much. Container, yes.
Nowadays, you still get good.
Yes. I back no. And the only time our price go up when APC is doing the election. It's not funny. When APC was when on the election, we have to buy any ahead now because we know they need to raise it up. They don't need campaign now. I mean, the market so much there.
Really, have people room on the outside.
And can we move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, design a product catalog. Ensure you have a budget for online promotion. Find buyers contact abroad does not translate to contract. Contacts. What is the difference between contact and contract? You see R, Rabi? Yes. The R is relationship. This relationship you need to convert from contact to contract. So you need to build relationship, which is why you need someone on ground they can get to meet. That's why going for trade fair is fantastic. Because you get to meet people one-on-one. You know when you meet some people, you just like their person. When you meet some people, also you know that no, I can't meet them with this. Give out regular information about your product to build credibility through your social media platform. Have a representative in the target export destination. Interaction with your company website is critical, so get it ready. Jumping on a call from your country could hinder a chance of closing the sale. Let your rep be the one to have that conversation. Knowledge of the export market is critical success factor. You need to know about the export market. Let your marketing effort direct buyer to your website or to your phone through WhatsApp. Mentoring is needed to minimize delay or your error rate. Please, if you are exporting any product, talk to someone that has done it before. You might have to pay, but the knowledge is priceless. If you have someone that has done it before, talk to the person. And this is not just for export. Any business you want to do. It's just, you know why? There are some mistakes that are not necessary. I've got a lot of money doing export. Something I'm telling you about my mistake.
Yeah, experience.
It doesn't make sense. You can get to talk to someone. It might involve you paying, incur cost. But for me, it's not really a cost, as it were. It's an investment. Because it's all about definition. Do you know that nothing is anything until you give it a coloration?